If I got cancer tomorrow, I'd do this before calling any doctor. If I found out I had cancer tomorrow, I wouldn't start with a hospital visit. I wouldn't call an oncologist. I wouldn't even open Google. I'd start by asking one quiet, powerful question. What inside me allowed this to happen? Because cancer doesn't arrive by accident. It grows in silence in soil. We often ignore stress. We carry too long, food we eat without thinking air. We breathe without question, thoughts we hold too tightly. Before scheduling a single appointment, I'd take one step inward. I'd stop eating sugar immediately. I'd breathe deeply, sit in stillness, and begin cleaning the environment inside and around me. I'd examine my habits, my toxins, my emotions. Because unless we change the terrain, the weeds will always return no matter how many times we cut them down. This video isn't about fear. It's about power. If you've been touched by cancer or want to avoid that path altogether, keep listening. These steps won't replace medical care, but they will build a foundation that no disease can thrive in. Sometimes the most radical healing doesn't begin in a doctor's office. It begins in your kitchen, your thoughts, your choices. And it begins now. Let's talk about something that's probably in your kitchen right now, sugar. It's sweet, comforting, and quietly dangerous. The average American consumes over 150 pounds of sugar and 146 pounds of white flour every year. That's nearly a pound per person every single day. But what most people don't realize is that sugar doesn't just expand your waistline, it fuels disease, especially cancer. Cancer cells are metabolic monsters. They crave glucose, the simple sugar in your bloodstream. When you feed your body soda white bread, pasta pastries, or sweet snacks, you're not just satisfying your taste buds. You're feeding the enemy. Refined sugar spikes your blood sugar and floods your body with inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. That inflammation weakens your immune system, damages healthy cells, and creates the perfect environment for cancer to grow. But here's the good news. You don't have to quit sweetness, just the poison. Start by cutting out refined carbohydrates, white flour pastries, sugary drinks. Replace them with fiber-rich fruits like berries, apples, and pears. Use natural sweeteners like monk fruit or stevia. Add healthy fats and lean proteins to each meal to stabilize blood sugar. Even small changes like switching soda for herbal tea or choosing oats instead of boxed cereal can radically shift your health over time. If I were battling cancer, this is one of the first things I'd do. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every spoonful of sugar is a message to your body, and you get to decide what it says. Your body knows how to heal. But first you have to stop feeding the fire. And that starts by clearing sugar off your plate for good. What if the most dangerous things in your home were invisible? Every day we're exposed to hundreds of chemicals, many of them linked to cancer, and most of us have no idea. A study by the Environmental Working Group found over 280 toxic pollutants in the umbilical cord blood of newborn babies. That means we're exposed even before we take our first breath. These toxins come from everyday products, cleaning sprays, non-stick pans, plastics, artificial fragrances, even the food we eat. Over time, this constant exposure overwhelms the liver, disrupts hormones, and weakens our ability to fight disease. If I got cancer, I'd start by clearing my environment immediately. First, I'd switch to organic foods, especially when it comes to the dirty dozen, the fruits and vegetables most contaminated with pesticides. I'd avoid plastic containers, especially when heating food. I'd toss out synthetic air fresheners and switch to essential oils or fresh plants. Next, I'd clean up my cleaning routine. White vinegar, baking soda, and a few drops of lemon or tea tree oil can replace nearly every chemical cleaner in the house. Then I'd support my body's natural detox systems. That means drinking filtered water, adding cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage to my meals, drinking warm lemon water in the morning, using a dry brush before showers to stimulate lymph flow, and if available, using a sauna or taking Epsom salt baths to support detox through the skin. You can't live in a bubble, but you can make smarter choices, one room, one product, one meal at a time. Cancer doesn't just grow because something went wrong inside your body. It also grows because something toxic stayed in too long. Let's change that. Let's clear the space your body needs to fight and heal. Because detox isn't a trendy cleanse, it's a daily commitment to creating an environment where your health can thrive. If your gut isn't healthy, your immune system isn't either. We often think of digestion as a separate process, what happens after a meal. But your gut is much more than that. It houses trillions of bacteria forming what scientists call the gut microbiome, and this ecosystem affects everything from mood and memory to inflammation and cancer risk. Studies now show that when the gut is imbalanced due to antibiotics, poor diet, or chronic stress, it weakens your immune response. Harmful bacteria thrive, inflammation rises, and your body becomes more vulnerable to disease, including cancers far beyond the digestive tract. That's why if I had cancer or wanted to prevent it, I'd make gut healing a priority. First, I'd cut out what harms the gut: processed foods, alcohol-added sugars, and artificial additives. These damage the gut lining and feed harmful microbes. Then I'd add in what helps: probiotic-rich foods like sauerkraut, kefir, and yogurt to repopulate good bacteria. Prebiotic fibers from onions, garlic, bananas, and oats to nourish them. Bone broth and collagen to repair the gut lining. And a diverse plant-based diet filled with colorful vegetables and herbs like ginger and turmeric. And don't underestimate stress. Chronic worry can inflame the gut just as much as junk food. A walk outside, quiet time, or deep breathing each day can help your digestion more than you might expect. Your gut is like the soil of a garden. If it's healthy, everything else grows strong. But if it's neglected, nothing thrives for long. True healing, deep-lasting healing starts in the gut. Let it be your foundation. Because when your gut recovers, your whole body remembers how to fight. Behind every chronic illness, heart disease, diabetes, dementia, and yes, cancer, is one common culprit: inflammation. Inflammation isn't always bad. When you cut your finger, that redness and swelling is your body healing. But when inflammation becomes chronic, when it simmers below the surface for weeks, months, or even years, it begins to quietly destroy tissues, confuse the immune system, and create fertile ground for cancer to grow. If I got a cancer diagnosis, I wouldn't just fight the tumor, I'd fight the fire that allowed it to grow. That fire is inflammation. The first step: change what's on your plate. Eliminate inflammatory foods, refined sugar, white flour, processed meats, trans fats, and highly refined seed oils like soybean or corn oil. These aren't just unhealthy. They're fuel for disease. Then fill your meals with natural anti-inflammatories, leafy greens like spinach and kale, colorful fruits like blueberries, cherries, and oranges, omega-3 rich foods like wild salmon, flaxseed, and walnuts, turmeric, ginger, and green tea, powerful protectors at the cellular level, and extra virgin olive oil, which contains polyphenols proven to lower inflammation markers. But it's not just food. Stress, poor sleep, and sedentary living also ignite inflammation. Just 20 minutes of walking, 8 hours of sleep, and 10 minutes of deep breathing can lower inflammatory markers in your blood. Inflammation is the silent background music of disease. You might not see it, but you can feel it in your fatigue, your aches, your foggy thinking. And if left unchecked, it can invite more serious problems into your life. The beauty is, you're not powerless. Every meal, every thought, every step you take is either fighting the fire or feeding it. Choose the path of healing. Cool the flames. Give your body the calm it needs to repair, recover, and restore. What if your body was fighting something every single day, and you didn't even know it? For many people, gluten and dairy are silent triggers. They create inflammation in the gut, confuse the immune system, and weaken your defenses. Even if you don't have celiac disease, your body might still be reacting. A landmark study showed that people with undiagnosed or silent gluten sensitivity had a 35 to 75% higher risk of death, especially from cancer and heart disease. That's not from eating fast food or smoking. That's from eating a sandwich or a bowl of cereal day after day without knowing the damage being done. Dairy can be just as sneaky. For some, it causes mucus buildup, gut irritation, and chronic inflammation, all of which lower the immune system's ability to detect and destroy abnormal cells. If I had cancer, one of the simplest experiments I'd try is a 30-day elimination: remove all gluten and dairy, just for a month. Watch what happens. Many people report better digestion, clearer skin, sharper focus, and less joint pain in just a few weeks. This isn't about following a trend. It's about listening to your body and giving it a break from fighting invisible battles. Sometimes healing doesn't require a miracle. It just needs a reset. And removing hidden food triggers could be one of the most powerful resets you ever try. Because when your immune system isn't busy reacting to the food on your plate, it can finally focus on what really matters: protecting your life. There's a reason some people call cancer a wake-up call. It doesn't just challenge your body, it demands a transformation of your mindset. More and more research confirms what ancient traditions have long known: your thoughts affect your cells. Chronic stress, fear, and hopelessness don't just weigh down your spirit, they directly impact your immune system hormones and inflammation levels. On the other hand, hope, gratitude, and inner peace send healing signals throughout your body. One study showed that people who practiced daily gratitude had lower cortisol levels and better immune function. Another found that meditation slowed cellular aging. If I were facing cancer, I'd protect my peace like it was medicine, because it is. I'd begin each day with a few quiet minutes breathing deeply, praying, or writing in a journal. I'd forgive quickly, laugh more often, and seek out beauty, sunlight on the porch, a favorite song, the smile of a friend. I'd fill my environment with encouraging voices, whether that's a faith community uplifting music or a support group of others on the healing path. And I'd remind myself every single day that I am not just a diagnosis, I am a living, breathing, healing human being. Sometimes the greatest medicine isn't a pill, it's a shift in perspective. When the body and mind move together, when you nourish both with love, honesty, and courage, true healing begins. And no matter what the diagnosis says, you are never without hope. Cancer is one of the most feared words in the world, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. Whether you're trying to prevent it, support a loved one, or facing it yourself, the steps we've shared today can shift the ground beneath your feet. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Just start somewhere. Clear out the sugar, detox your home, heal your gut, lower inflammation, listen to your body, calm your mind. These aren't alternative strategies, they're foundational truths your body has been asking for all along. Remember, healing doesn't only happen in clinics or labs. It happens in your kitchen, in your daily habits, and in the quiet decisions you make when no one's watching. If this video gave you a sense of clarity or hope, share it with someone you love. Because when we take our health into our own hands, we take back our future one powerful choice at a time.